All right, what's up? It's Sunday, guys. You know what that means. It's the Cup of Joe draw stream. Um, I've got my Cup of Joe X-Farce, everybody. If you haven't seen Don Chin's work, he's a champion. He's got Beard Zerker in campaign. You can go back that thing. And pretty sure it's in demand, right? But yeah, beards everywhere. And Don Chin obviously fulfills, gets things out there, buddy. Coleman showing up. What's up, Coleman? Holla, holla, holla. Good to see you. I was about to put a poll in the chat to see about what everybody thinks of the topic today. Am I too loud? I'm trying to figure out my gain values here. What about now? Less, more, less, more? Can't tell. Can't tell with this monitor. It's so messed up. So whoever's in the chat, let me know if my volume is too nuts. Let me see what this thing shows. It's somewhere in the middle, so that should be good. Charlie Lee, what's up? How you doing? And Chris Cranham is here. What's up? Volume's good. I appreciate it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some feedback. So yeah, the topic for today, as I'm going to draw some sketch cards for Star Circuit, is pretty much going over goals. And like, I kind of like this. It's this paradox almost, like with goal setting and just how much it is useful and how much of it is just useless. How much it is just not like optimal. And I want to go through that, talk about it. Also, guys, I've got two things. I met up with Colonel Crack himself, Jeremy Teveno, yesterday, and he gave me a special birthday gift because yesterday is my birthday. What's up, guys? Birthday day after the birthday, anyway. He gave me his painted version of the Metric X50 mini bike. This is like the very small version of the bike. It's about I think twice or almost three times as big, the one that you can buy. But this one, it's got a nice sheen because he painted it well. It's just small, so like when he painted it, some of the details get lost because the paint's so thick. But he did a great job. Like it's a tough call to like. I like to have people do their own, but you can see the paint looks nice and it shines. Like that makes it look awesome. So I'm stoked that he gave it to me. It's definitely welcome here. It's really cool to have it on my desk because like it's always a reminder, and I think that also goes into what we're going to be talking about today as I draw, which I'll be switching cameras in a second. But before I do that, I want to do something else here. So, Billy Basco just showed up. Nice. What's up? And my boy Zayd's here as well. So, I actually threw out a lot of links to a lot of people. So, anybody who wants to jump in that I sent links to, and anybody that like maybe you want to jump on and join the panel anyway, anybody in the chat, let me know. Maybe we'll just go for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, happy birthday to the other art bro. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it, Charlie Lee. Happy birthday. Happy late birthday. It's okay, dude. I'm not great about like, I don't know. It's not that it's, I'm just not good at like telling about my life. I'm not good at connecting in that way. But cheers. It's the morning after, and I feel like definitely feeling 34. I had like 2 beers yesterday, and with even 2 beers, I'm just like, I feel like dehydrated, but that's the feeling I would get in college if I drank like 13. You know what I mean? That's how you go. That's how it works. El Padrino's here. What's up? Sup, homies. Sup. Double sup. So let's put on some music too in the background. How about that? Last week I did an early stream, and I'm planning to stream a long time today because I just want to stream, knock out a lot of sketch cards. I got my pack. One's pretty much empty, and so we're going to jump on the next one. And let's turn down the music a little bit. We'll see if this is loud enough or not loud enough. We'll see. All right, so I should be drinking water instead of coffee. Hydrate. Yeah, dude. The grays get reflective. They're more reflective than the bike. That's how it goes, dude. My favorite 24 Eyes is here. Is the music too loud now? I can't tell. Actually, that's just my monitor. That's why. Okay, monitor. I don't need you. Just want a little bit of the volume in the background. Let me know if the music's too loud, and we'll keep going. Oh man, that's how it goes, dude. You know, I focus on the work. I think that's hopefully what we all want to do. No, I feel like if I started using like Rogaine or something, it doesn't like build up like when the minute you stop using it, you go like totally gray. Or is that start with like the whole the regrowth stuff, the Rogaine, there's, what's the other one? Men's something. Anyway, I'm wearing Star Circuit today, so get your Star Circuit t-shirt by bagging the Apex backer level. Let's look at Star Circuit real quickly. It'll give me a chance to switch my camera over because I do not have two cameras at the time. And so yeah, if you guys haven't seen Star Circuit, here's the trailer. It's my cyberpunk racing adventure. Because I know we got some new people in chat. It's my comic book that I've been working on for like 4 or 5 years, and did so much work to it. It's the first chapter, 1 of 8. It's a mini series, and it's a hell of a ride. So here's the trailer.
Welcome to the future. A place where you can find anything you desire. If the burner gangs don't find you first. Where the fastest racers are artificial. And if you're human, you don't stand a chance. Star Circuit.
Alright, I'm back, guys. So, yeah, Star Circuit. Let me pull up the page real quick, too, while I'm here, while we're talking about it, because we've got some backers recently, and it's awesome. It's always nice to see backers coming in and supporting. So let's check it out real quick. Alright, here we go. Sometimes it's slow to load these things, dude. Okay, so Star Circuit, we hit 345 backers. We're so close to 350. I really want that nice even number. For that trailer, El Patrino says, epic narrator. Yes. Epic as hell. Billy says, I shouldn't talk. Went for an hour hike this week and kicked my ass. I realized how much time I've spent inside since COVID. Yeah, everybody's got those, man. So, I do feel like, yeah, as you get older, everything is just a little bit slower to develop. And, you know, that kind of goes into Star Circuit a little bit, because Star Circuit is a man versus machine story, and just like all of you out there, and myself included, we kind of deteriorate, and we are not as perfect as what a machine would do. And in this story, one guy takes on pretty much in the future a whole league of unbeatable androids. In the future, androids are the best racers, and this one street racer is one hella crazy dude, and goes up and kind of gets convinced that he's able to do it, even though it's kind of like the suicidal mission, suicidal goal, which also ties into what we're about to talk about. But go check out Star Circuit. You saw the trailer, it's killer. There's many cool things that you can get with the book, like a design book, a poster, and like what I showed before, which is the Metric X50 3D print. It's a killer, gigantic 3D print full of details that you can paint yourself. And if you paint an awesome version of the bike, we'll do a competition later on. coming toward 2022 for the next book, and you can get drawn into the book with your design. So check it out. Go back the book. Help us get to 350 because that'll be amazing for all of us. Heck yeah. And Sade says bangarang, as he does. As the Colonel does, he says bangarang. Okay, so I got my camera kind of set up. Kind of. Let me move this. Hopefully that doesn't sound horribly. Oh, I knocked over my Anatomy 360 figure. Like an idiot, dude. Such an idiot. That could have broke. That's what happens when you're all over the place, guys. Okay, so let's get this camera a little bit more angled the way we want. This way. Hold on. There we go. A little better. A little better. Okay. Let's get a light on. Better. Worse. Okay. Let's see. Let's use a couple samples here. Sketch cards. They show up pretty well, right? Is my focus on auto? I wonder. Okay, so we're gonna be drawing some new ones. I've got to draw like 20 left. I got 20 left to draw. So let's see if I can knock out. I'm gonna stay on till like 2 o'clock today. So that's a 3-hour stream. Let's do that and knock out plenty. I plan to do let's just do one every half an hour. How many that will do? One every half an hour. 6? Would that be 6? Yeah, 6 would be nice to get done today. Maybe more. Who knows? Okay, opening up a new pack. New pack of these Bristol smooth surface. Yeah, I'm all about the smooth Bristol, dude. Actually, with these, the front is smoother than the back or something. Something like that. Like the back is a little more smooth than the textured front. Any more in this one? I've actually gone through some of the sketch cards just don't turn out as good as I like, and I'm not going to give you guys crap, so I throw this away. Okay, so let's bring up what we want. Enough of Star Circuit. Sorry for not bringing that up for you guys. Okay, so got like 6 here. That's what we should do. Here's the plan, guys. We're going to be doing 2 things. We got a visitor coming in. Hold on. I'm gonna remove this light pad real quick. That way I can use the super awesome magnetic. Well, that's really reflective. It's so reflective. Let's move this over. 1 sec. These over. There we go. Less reflective. Much less. Alright, let's get Colonel Crack up in here. What's up, Colonel Crack?
What up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. You feeling good today?
How is everybody else doing? Billy Basco, man.
Oh,
how you doing,
sorry, guys.
dude? How you
And
doing?
Kier is here.
Coleman, yeah, Kier.
I've never seen Kier here. If you guys are new to the channel, know that me and Jeremy are art bros and real bros, because we actually got to hang out for the first time in a long time yesterday for my birthday. So we forgot to take a picture like amateur social media people, and that's how it goes. You know, we're not made for this life. Maybe one day we'll actually pay attention to.
It was a fun time. The restaurant we went to was really interesting. That was different.
Yeah, we did a hot pot. What would you say? It's like it's like an Asian hot pot restaurant.
You pay like an all-you-can-eat price, and you sit next to a conveyor belt that has ingredients that comes down. In front of you on the table is a empty like pot of broth that you control the temperature. Joe couldn't get his right the whole night. It kept boiling over on
Yeah, dude. I had to get 2 bowls because it boiled out my broth.
But that was different. It was interesting.
Heck yeah,
But
man.
yeah.
We're going to have to do it again because they have that barbecue option.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm bending my little holder thing. That way you guys can get a closer view.
So I'm adding one more light layer to that Mavericks image.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
basically done with. So it's just the highlights that kiss all the edges. But there were some buildings in the distance that I want to clean up a little bit, like through that fog I think I showed you.
Yeah.
Like on the left side, you can kind of tell I haven't really finished that up any. So I don't know. I could get away with it by saying, "Oh, it's the fog, the haze, and stuff."
You can't show it off, right?
I don't know if I can. I'm not wanting. I kind of don't want to yet until Nefarious is ready to show.
Yeah, of course. I'm moving away from the mic a little bit. Hopefully, I'm not too low.
Oh yeah, guys! I saw his studio desk and setup. Man, he's like Tony Stark up in there.
Dude, I prefer to be Tom Cruise, but I want to be
Minority
Tom Cruise.
Report.
In Minority Report, yeah, I'd rather be Tom Cruise than anything. But what can you do? It's
Well, Scientology's not too far away from us, man.
Yeah, dude, we can join real quick.
Get ourselves some e-meter sessions.
Yeah, get an e-meter session. Let's get captured by what's his name, the second-hand guy that took over. Miscavige, yeah. Let's get collared by Miscavige, put in like a camp. Let's get trapped on a boat for a weekend. That's how they do it.
I just say you keep writing Star Circuit to the absurdity where you can finally invent a psychological religion out of it.
That is actually a good idea.
That's
so
what
prolific.
Hubbard did. That's what Hubbard did. Battlefield Earth, wasn't that what he did?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You rather be 5'2"? 5'2". Oh, like the comma threw me off. 5'2", like Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I get it. That's funny.
Yeah, he's a short.
That's funny.
Coleman, you don't know me, bro. I'm short. I'm 5'8".
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that far off. I know the short life. You know
Joe
what I mean?
says this every time we see each other. I forgot you're so tall.
Yeah, no, well, that's because I'm short as hell, dude. It hurts my neck to talk to Jeremy.
I just come with a friendly bar stool I carry around for everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah, you should. You have to carry it on your back and then like prop it up. Okay, one other little piece of info before we get into other topics. Oh, cool. Coleman's 5'8" as well. Very cool, dude. 5'8"ers. Here's a little itty bitty fact. No pun intended.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was under 5 foot until sophomore year of high school. I was 4'11".
That's why I never saw you before.
Yeah, you just like saw I like blended into the lockers.
I got movie screen vision, black bars at top and bottom, dude.
I was blocked by the lettering, the letter box or whatever. So yeah, that's a neat fact. Probably,
Neat fact.
it probably.
It's your Snapple fact,
dude. It needs to be. Yeah, it's actually my claim to fame. I think my Napoleon complex is the reason why I'm so driven to make stuff. Something about like I'm trying to like compensate for it or something.
Got skills.
Yeah, I got skills, bro. See what happens when you kick me off the kickball team.
Nunchuck skills, bow staff skills.
Yeah. You guys will all pay for not. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm setting up to do I'm doing these model sheets as sketch cards. So these days, guys, you have a chance by backing the sketch card tier of getting a sketch card that is actually being the model sheet for the updated model sheets for Star Circuit. So you actually could get one of these bad boys that look like this. For example, this is Atlas, front and side view of Atlas. The updated versions, because the first versions were so detailed that I realized they became not useful. Like they were so not in the style I actually draw sequentials in that they're almost not as useful as if you went super simplified. It's almost nice to go simplified. So Charlie Lee says, fun fact, Jesus was 5'8".
Shrouded Turin measurements, is that what we're getting into now?
It actually says 5.8, so I don't know if that even, because that's not like, Maybe he does mean 5.58 inches, but 5.8 sounds a little
I want
higher.
to know how tall Xerxes was. Was it really like in 300 exaggerated like that? Because I'm 6'4". So I've got that whole I'm about to go in Looney Tune land and playing a basketball cartoon kind of complex. So
Yeah, dude. You kind of do.
I kind of do.
You kind of do.
Open cabinet doors are my worst nightmare.
Billy says, 24 Eyes. I heard that Matt Barr drew into a supervillain. Super cool dude. Interesting. And the main man Zayd. Hell yeah. So I want to talk about today about I want to talk about the topic of goals and like how they relate to like actually getting things done. If they
I could dunk. I b-ball all day, bro. Talk about goals.
Like soccer goals or basketball goals.
No, basketball goals, Joe.
Dude, I don't play basketball, dude. I'm 5'8". We're talking about this.
Keep going. Goals.
There's plenty of things that tie to goals. I was talking about two other things that kind of attach to goals. But for me, goals are like the things that scale, and once they scale too high, they become useless and stupid. But not even that. I even took notes. Let me go through my notes real quick before I start really drawing, because then I can't talk and draw. Billy says, I love gold. Oh, gold!
Yeah, go!
Yeah, so goals here, guys. Goals are great because they give you a direction. It's like at the base level, in theory, they're great because it's like a ship that you steer. You know, like if you start, down a path that is nowhere near where you want to go, you end up going almost backwards sometimes. Like if you don't know where you're going, you can just head to anywhere. So it's good to have a direction. However, there's a downside here, guys.
It's a box.
It's a box. It very well could be a box. But my point of view on goals, and which really was like kind of like a revelation for me, is that goals are kind of they add up quick, and like you can end up having a goal for just about everything. Not only that, but goals can lead you down. I don't know, maybe too big, and you kind of get lost in the tasks. So let me get super specific. That way we don't be too esoteric about just like, these are just
Tony
words
Robbins.
right now.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure. Let me get my Tony Robbins speech more clear. So pretty much this is when you talk about like task paralysis. This is what kind of I'm talking about. Like you get so many, your to-do list could be so big for whatever you have to do that you just never do it. Like, you can, whatever. It's like if you're trying to plan a party, you can think about everything you have to do to plan the party and then just get overwhelmed with like what to do, and you might not do anything. And a comic book could be like that. Comics take tons of stuff. Like think about the insane amount of tasks that it takes to do it, and you can easily get overwhelmed. So, have you felt that before we move on, Jeremy? You felt any kind of like...
Yes, not just with... I mean, you guys know I'm coming from a video game background, an artist video game background, so comics aren't lost on me, and I am pretty new at all this. But it's not new as in the art style. My goals now are different a bit. Like, my goals are trying to get that story of the world told. I don't care which medium it has to be in. I'll write a stinking musical if I have to. But I also have experience in these things. Like with comic books, I took classes in storyboarding. So I loved how when we had Bancroft on and in the green room, we talked about, comic books don't draw a storyboard and then tell me it's a comic book. There's a certain artistry and a direction that you got to get. So with all of the complexities of it, here I am trying to crash course a lot of it. And I put out my book, the rough draft, in a month and a half. that's faster than most people would feel comfortable doing, right?
It's interesting, yeah.
But I've been tossing it to a few people, like Billy and you, and Bancroft, and a lot of you guys. 24. I don't know if it. No, not 24 hours, but anyway, I've sent it out to a lot of you guys, and getting the feedback from both the professionals and the customers. The thing is going at it blind. When you're overwhelmed like that, you can choose to quit, or you can choose to find the help to try to ease and quell that anxiety a bit. But I also come from making Beckon. And when you talk about all the different hats you have to wear with video games, the hats are so different. They're different shaped, if you get my metaphor, and that gets overwhelming.
Interesting metaphor.
Well, the hat's different shape. Now this one won't go through the doorways I need to go to without having to bend over backwards or slant sideways or squeeze through.
What are you wearing, a sombrero? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, it feels like that sometimes, but like Joe was saying, you could get muddied down, and when that happens and you're kind of stubborn like me, you won't ever give up on them until you get to some conclusion.
Right.
And in the end, how much time did you really spend learning more than struggling? Is my thing, like the energy output.
Sorry guys, I'm lowering the table.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his Tony Stark table.
My Tony Stark table has just been lowered because I noticed that when it's up, it wobbles a little more and messes. The camera messes with it a little bit more. Let me see if I can get a better clarity, because I think the focus is just a little bit too off. But I agree with that. So I have a little bit more of an Eastern kind of approach. Well, Eastern as far as I guess hemispheres. Eastern
Yeah, Johnny Cage was up with his cultural appropriation, Joe.
Yeah, he's calling us out for cultural appropriation. I see that. Johnny, I don't need your privileged kind of comments coming into our chat.
Personal point of privilege.
Yeah. So goals are privileged, bro. Everybody knows that. So here's my breakdown of why goals are not the best way to go, and here's my consideration on what you should do instead. Let me fix this camera real quick first, because I noticed.
I want to say you dive into it, and like a child's wonderment, just go into it. You will find if you really love it and are into it and striving for it, you're going to find a place to sit and love it. But that's just my esoteric side of it.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's much better. Okay. Clarity, baby. That's what we like. So I like that approach. I mean, it's pretty, it aligns well with what I'm going to say here. So goals, I think naturally happen. You can't help not make them. So it's almost like by you going out of your way and focusing on them, it's almost leaning too hard into them. They're going to happen naturally. Notice when they happen. Notice when you have something that you want, because you're naturally going to want them. But also know that this is the Eastern part of it. Everything that you want is a desire, and a desire is really, in a certain perspective, a way of, it's like pain. It's because by wanting something that you don't have, it means that you don't have it. It means that you're not satisfied until you achieve it. So every day that you have a goal that you haven't achieved, it means that you kind of have this you're off your center. You're not satisfied, and so you're not necessarily in your happy place, if you know what I mean. And so putting too much emphasis on it, or putting emphasis at all on it, is kind of not the best way to go. What I would say,
Keep going.
I was going to say, what I would say instead is to focus on, because the goals are the results. Usually you're I want to make a comic book. You know what I mean? Or I want to be a comic book professional. Or, I want people to see me as a comic book professional, or something like that. I want to have a best-selling comic. The thing is, when you have a result like that tied into your goal, there's too much
Pressure.
your desires are attached to things you can't control, and so you're almost setting yourself up for a crappy
Some point of disappointment.
yeah, crappy go at it. You know, there's a lot of your R&D, as the gamers would say, is pretty high there. So this is what I would say.
Your bust factor.
Right, your bust factor is up, is high.
Yeah.
And so goals will naturally come up. You notice that they're your desires, and what you need to do is technically take them into account in a certain way. And I'll show you that in a second. Billy's saying something here. Billy says some people focus on the journey of the goal rather than the content with just reaching the destination. Yes. That in essence, yes, focus on the journey. I'm going to break that down in a little bit more detail, because saying that is just kind of, it's a little cliche at this point. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say that, but what does that really mean? Billy says, it's not how many steps did it take, is are you making your way up the mountain? Yes. And prayer hands. So I agree, and that's essentially what we're talking about here. We're talking about how do you get where you want to go, and at the same time not have this desire that's in the back of your head, these goals that are like making you kind of unhappy, because that's every time you think about it and you're not reaching the goal, and from a certain perspective you can actually not have a great time at it. You're not going to feel good about it. So I'd say the angle where I was going with is, so if you're focusing on the result, like I said, there's a lot of things you can't control in that mix. So really, your focus should be on like very, very almost split second daily like actions. Not really the goal, but the action. And it's another way of calling it the journey. So, but I would even look at the journey as far as like in a long-term kind of angle. Look at it in a perspective of essentially like the next 5 minutes. Like what do you love about drawing? You know, and focus on that part. Like, I'm drawing sketch cards right now. I'm not focused on I got to draw 30 sketch cards next week. I got to draw. You focus on, I like drawing a head. Let me draw some heads on these particular pieces of paper, and they become sketch cards. And in that way, it's essentially you do the actions, and when the actions add up, they become the goal, and thus you don't know if they're going to be popular. You don't know if your sketch cards are going to be good. You don't know if your campaign that you're putting out there is going to be successful. You don't know how much money you're going to make. But if you pretty much plant the seeds, this is what I'd say, sow the seeds of what you want to do, just like throw things out there. And the best thing I've ever heard is, Billy is saying, be like water, which is also great advice.
Flow with it, yeah.
Right. But the biggest thing, my best thing I've ever heard that helped me out is that you don't own your successes, and you also don't own your failures. It's if you just plant seeds and you don't look for certain results, then all it becomes is it's the most freeing thing. That's what I mean why I don't focus on the goal, because by looking to have your product or whatever you're doing become something, it might not. The R&D is there. Yeah,
so
go for it, Jeff.
You talk about the sowing the seeds thing, and it's got me thinking about vineyards, right?
Hit it up.
And, you know, if you want to be a winemaker, you need to have the vineyard. You need to have the grapes. You need to have the field. You need to till it. You need to plant it. You need to cultivate it. You need to let it grow and tend to it, and then collect it, age it, bottle it. All this is a process to one eventual goal. So, are you
a vineyard owner or something?
No, I'm just saying that everything's going to take its multiple pieces and parts. And it's easy to tell people that love doing this, just stay to it, just flow with it, But I've lived with people, not you, Joe, but I've lived with people and been close to people who don't know what their goals are, and especially if you spend long amounts of time with them when you're goal oriented and you have those goals and you're happy doing that. Some people just don't get it and you get on their nerves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying cut people out of your life or anything, but it just, for some people, it's harder in the environment to kind of find a goal that's like this when there's not many people to kind of gravitate towards. So guys all in this comic book group, that's great. You guys got a lot of support here. I have found it, but and if you're here, more than likely you're a fan of this stuff. So, flow with it, be like water, like Billy was saying. But it's an experience more than anything. I mean, you could destroy yourself by the self-judgment of, oh, this didn't come out right. I've seen artists, like new artists, do it all the time. Is, I want to be an artist, so I'm going to give it the 100% good go, right? And then they get about 25, 30% through the image, and then they say, this sucks. And they stop. They actually put it away. And I don't know how that really works. I mean, I try to finish everything I got, or at least get it to a point. There was a time I didn't. But I've learned that I'm going to learn something out of it, even if it's just learning how to hide mistakes again. And the reason why I sit there and learn that is, one, I make the time to try to do it. And two, I want to get better at it. I want you to go, dude, how did you do that? And be like this, bro, watch. It's fun to learn and trade off these things. But I would imagine that with anything. Just be prepared. Not everybody, once you get that goal, is going to be kind of seeing you sane.
Yeah, sane. Well, it's like we were talking about, like how much there is like not a lot of things that you can control. There's a lot of the factors out there are out of your control, and those are all external. So the best things you can do is focus on the internal stuff that's not even related to what you're doing. Say you're drawing, what's going to help you draw? Like, well, don't eat like crap, because usually when you eat like crap, you're like not wanting to do anything, including draw. You know what I mean? Like try to keep your mind straight, mind right. Like if you're having like having trouble with motivation, it means that your mind's cluttered. It means that the key to motivation and like getting at it, doing the job, is focusing on it. Like literally, motivation is keeping a singular thought in your brain for extended periods of time. So if you're thinking about gaming all the time, you're gonna probably go play games. If you're thinking about comics all the time, you're gonna probably
easy.
What?
Easy there, Malin.
Malin, dude. Look, I'm Coach Junior, dude. I'm Coach Junior. I'm JV. Call me the JV coach. Dude, I'm junior varsity. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to join the junior varsity, guys, I got shirts coming. I got lettered jackets coming. So yeah, the best part of it is when you look at, in general, like what keeps you going, the motivation comes and goes. So you have to just be mindful of what you're paying attention to. Everything that you do in the day, like adds like you're putting like a little bit of almost like a counter in a jar, and you're gonna put every time you like read comics or think about how to make comics, you're adding to that jar of making your book. Or every time you like look or get another art book or sketch something, you're adding to the art book, or you're adding to like your artistic side. But every time you go and whatever, like eat a whole pizza and watch and binge My Hero Academia, you're adding to your like not so productive self. You're adding to maybe having fun, and chilling self, which is not bad at times. I'm not saying don't do that, but know that that's what you're doing. If you want to make things happen, try to do the little things that add up to you getting more work done. And so you might not think about it, but every time you do something that is not comic related, you're gonna do on your projects, dude. Billy says, don't bet yourself up. beat, I think is what he means. Yes, beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah,
That was mostly for me. Yeah. Hey, no worries.
I'm still dealing with that one.
What, beating yourself up?
Yeah. But it's like, don't take yourself too seriously mentality. It's like,
oh, absolutely.
I motivate myself by pressure. Okay, and so I kind of need to beat yourself up, but it's kind of the comedic way of doing it. It's like roasting myself because recently I've been playing a lot of Skyrim. I can't knock it. Okay, just recently I was like, I've owned this game for almost 10 years. I gotta like at least see how far I can push it because I'm a completionist type thing. But and I've already beat Alduin. Anyway, it's a nice way to get back to sleep. But I do notice, like there was a morning or two there, and I don't normally do this. Wake up in the morning, I started playing it because I had to finish this one quest. I stopped. I said, "You got comic to draw, dude. You got goals, Joe."
Yeah, dude.
So goals suck. Do they suck, or can they be mispurposed, misallocate? Like the energy allocation is off.
It's a little clickbaiting for me to say they're stupid because I in the way where people emphasize goals is how I meant they are stupid. Like I said.
By the way, so I don't just throw myself out there. I saw Joe signed into a Switch too. What are you playing?
Oh, dude, all the time. Skyward Sword, dude.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
I got Skyward Sword. I pretty much, this is what I do. Like, I ascribe to the Jordan Peterson.
Make your bed.
Not necessarily just that. I like his thing. Like, on the daily, make your schedule the way you want to make it, dude.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah. Make your book, but if you want to play a game, play a game.
I learned.
However.
I learned that from some witches in the swap meet in Shelbyville, dude. They basically said, wake up every morning, visualize your day.
I don't know about visualizing. What do they mean by that?
So like Jordan Peterson says, like, kind of set yourself up for something good, and it's all the small things that you do and you think about to kind of keep yourself on that kind of focus. And a lot of his stuff is geared towards young men. That's what he specializes in. So I think
it applies to anybody, but
I was about to say, I think it applies to anybody. So if anyone's like Jordan Peterson, meaning, but just wake up. You said something that made me think, it's like waking up in the morning and just going, this is what I'm going to do. Like visualization is kind of the woo-woo, the secret way of talking about it. But,
right. The way I would put it is it's in free. To me, that's the same thing as saying keeping one thing in your brain. Like you're keeping it in your mind. By visualizing, you're putting that thought in your brain. Like I'm going to be doing this.
Crystallizing it.
Yeah. I don't know about crystallize, but yeah.
Back to the woo-woo.
Dude, back to the woo-woo. Try to use, how many times can you use crystal in a sentence?
Hey, I've got Becca. Don't tempt me.
I know.
I call them load-ins just so I can say crystals all the time.
Dude, good idea, dude.
Let me make this public right now while I'm talking about that.
Yeah, for sure.
I call them load-ins because the mechanical magic system, we're actually going to be loading them in to work with, right? I thought it was a fun play on words.
That is
cool. To find out, I came up with that in 2015 or 16. Okay. And Kojima's new game storyline thing coming out with these homo load-ins is what he calls them. He spells it different. Yeah. But so just saying.
Just make it known, dude.
I'm just saying, I came up with the load-in name first, jackass. No, it's actually, and I'm not calling Kojima Jack. I am because it's fun. But the word load-in that he came up with, I think I found the same definition. Back in 15, I was like, oh, dude, I like that.
Right.
But I played on the words and got. Oh yeah, it was the element of play. That's what it meant. It actually means like the mode of play. So his new creatures in the new world he's coming out are like homo load-ins or something like that, and that's what I guess is going to theorize what we evolve into. Like existence and evolution isn't about struggle anymore. It's just all about play and experience. So we develop these robots that we send our, download.
Oh, that's his premise?
Thought. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Homo Lodens.
Homo
That ties all the Metal Gear Solid stuff and the Death Stranding universes together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're doing some
But it's
heavy
all about this kind of subtext of like games are reality simulation type stuff. So yeah,
I'm not against that. That's pretty cool.
No.
Though, yeah, remember, you got the Lodens. You did the Lodens first.
I had the Lodens first, Kojima.
Hell yeah. And so we got Skip Edwards in here. Skip Edwards, what's up?
Good morning, Skip.
Billy Basco says he's overcritical of his work at times. It seizes me up a little.
It did me too. I've done a cover for Smiley's upcoming book. I'm working very heavy with him on that. And that was at the time where me and Joe were talking about crosshatch, or at least I was analyzing my crosshatch because I'm really fine with it.
Yeah, I probably said a comment and then you. And
I pulled back.
Right.
I started spacing out my crosshatch more, which changed the style completely.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to find myself, now that I'm more comfortable, coming back to what I'm good at doing, which is that fine crosshatch. And it's turning out great. My nefarious piece is like, woohoo! I can't wait
I'm
for
loving
it
it,
to show it off. But yeah, like, we're all our own worst critics. That's why I enjoy the group and Joe, and because I know I'm wrong. I'm too close to the project, Yeah,
it's tough to see everything, man. You gotta have somebody to bounce things off of. Zayd Comics is up in here.
What's up, Phil?
We got both Zayds in the house. Double Zayd. We need to have a Zayd stream.
We did.
Liquid Zayd stream.
I think it was all in good fun. I didn't mean to make fun. I wish I had chops like that. But, when he came on to Art Bros, I shaved my beard with chops.
I know. Well, look, dude. I mean, like a real parody stream.
I wouldn't try and be a dig.
We just need a real parody stream of the Zayds coming on together. You know what I mean? Get all the Zayds up in here.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more. There's clones. There's clones out there. Clones are real. Flat Earth.
Yeah, like I'm Liquid Zayd.
Yes.
He's solid right. Zayd.
Right.
He came first.
We just need naked Zayd now. Who could that be, bro?
Don't tell Noah this.
Yeah. He'll definitely be.
No, don't kick Phil. Why kick Phil? Phil's cool.
Yeah, we like Phil, bro.
I like Phil.
Is he saying there could be only one?
Oh no! Skip is like kick Phil.
Yeah, oh yeah, well that's what I mean. Like Highlander, there can be only one.
Oh bro. Yeah.
So
I got the Highlander reference, but I can't believe
you just didn't want to.
Who do they got? Henry Cavill is doing that. I'm Henry Cavill out.
Oh, well, look, dude. I didn't know he was even doing that.
Yeah, he's gonna be the Highlander in the remake coming up.
Is he?
Yeah, and
I'm not against it. That's probably not a bad cast.
Look, I'm Henry Cavill out.
Really?
There's other actors out there, man.
Yeah, but he lost his Superman role, so I feel bad, dude. You know what I mean?
Why did he lose the Superman role?
I mean, because they're not going with that direction with the universe.
Well, you grow out of roles, man.
Yeah.
He is getting a little. He's gonna get older. Yeah. And they can only do so. They can only waste so much money on bad CG mustaches. So.
Indeed. So I'm doing the model sheet for Menno, which is Atlas's brother in Star Circuit. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna grab one of these bad proofs. Let me see that again. I'm gonna grab one of these bad proofs here real quick.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That name sounds familiar to me. Tristan and Isolde. What was the main character's brother's name?
Dude, you expecting me to say that I watched Tristan and Isolde?
Mallow. I think it was Mallow.
Mallow?
Menno, yeah.
Mallow's also from Mario RPG. But
yeah. Go
all
ahead.
right, so here's one. All right, so this is from the design book and in the design book, here's all the previous headshots So you can see that they're like more detailed than I want. They're a little bit more skewed, but Menno's pretty close. Menno's like the closest that I like. I kept it pretty similar. It's very obviously very Clark Kent inspired. Because that's big to me. Speaking of cattle.
And so we were, when I was at over with Joe yesterday, we were talking about videos that we could possibly do and stuff, and I was talking about, he showed me this head bust that he had that shows all the planes of the head. I was like, I really want to do an episode where we go over the ratios of the face. I've heard in CG, a lot of people really love it when characters retain their appearances over panels, which is something normal to me. I always kind of, well, yeah, like that should be expected, correct? You know, so how can you get a character to look like that character in every frame? And so, you know, this.
Do you have a solution for us?
Oh yeah, well, this conversation went a lot quicker with you. You know.
Oh yes.
But Da Vinci was he had started out doing sketches called his grotesque collection, and from what I am knowledgeable about, that's the first time people started doing caricatures, or someone started doing caricatures. So they take the facial expressions of a person's face and just exaggerate them to grotesque proportions. The thing is that Da Vinci knew that the body was built on ratios. So even if you change the eye width a little bit, that means the brow width is going to change, which means the mouth width is going to, the whole face ratio is going to change and morph to just the slightest change of one thing. So when you're designing a character in a face, you're going to want to find that particular ratio exaggeration and stick to it with that character every time you draw them.
Right, and this might not be your angle, but my angle is I make notes, like not even sketchy notes.
This one has a Liam Neeson nose. This one has a Mark Wahlberg nose. This one, you know, like,
right. That's good, but I even go, you know me, I'm super technical. So I go one more. I go the length of this guy's face is same as the width of this guy's face. Like I'll measure.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah.
So
eventually that's where I'm, or beginning wise, that's where I get to is
right.
I think about that ratio before going into it. And just a few of the facial features start to set that, like what you got on your sketch card right now. You got a chin, hairline, and a nose line. There's a ratio being set up already where his eye line hits right there. Right?
Yes,
like
indeed.
You already got the brows kind of, so the jaw line between the chin convex and the jaw convex.
Right.
Right.
And just noticing
Right in between there is where the corner of your mouths are going to show up, which means the center of the pupil of your eyes are going to be set. So, and the top of the ears are going to be marked by the brow, the bottom of the earlobes by the bottom of the nose. These ratios are what we're talking about. You elongate one of them, you set off the rest. And this is what can create a memorable character, you know, face. And an algorithm that you can take later in other drawings and just keep going on it. And the big, like, if you go that far and you're still nervous, practice rotating that head in the practices and still keep that algorithm going. That way you can try what does this ratio look like at the 3/4 angle or the back angle or the profile. And you're doing, you know. So yeah, like I really want to do a video on it.
You should. We probably can team up on it. That way we can make it easier. If you want, it's up to you. I'll definitely do a guest spot on your vid. So Eric the Guapo's here. What's up, McIntyre? How you doing? So exactly true. So little things. I make mental notes, but I'm actually making real notes is helpful too. We're talking about that. And how detailed you want to get is up to you, but for me, I like to go sometimes super detailed. In fact, all the characters in Star Circuit have a low jaw. Their jawline I make below the mouth, which is kind of unusual, but that's just, I like how the masky kind of feel it gives. It gives like this kind of mask to the face.
It's so far in the future, humans are starting to already take shape evolution.
Be whatever it wants to be. Like if you pay attention to like comic book styles, which hint hint, I got one of my videos coming about that. But if you pay attention to some of the styles that are out there, once you are like into the story, all that blends into the background. Like you stop noticing like, oh, this guy draws noses like they look like I don't know, whatever, mushrooms or something. You're like you forget after the first page, you know, that like they're drawing things a little bit odder than maybe what you're used to.
It's almost like special effects. They're good when you don't notice them.
Right. Okay. But I realized that I wanted to get more done today than just talk. So I was like, oh, I probably should pick up the pace, bro. And Sherry's trying to been reminding me in the chat. She's been trying to.
Billy has been too. To be honest with you, since I was over at birthday party yesterday, for a good while, I'm probably gonna drop. You said you're gonna be streaming for a while today. So,
yeah, I'll be streaming it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take Bubba to go play.
Oh, cool, dude.
He's been a good boy, and I need to throw the boomerang with him. So
perfect, dude.
I'm gonna cut out of here in just a sec. But Nefarious, I'm sorry. I do want to show a close-up flash.
Okay, yeah. Let me know when you got it up.
Not the whole image, Neff. Don't get mad at me. And the color balances are still trying to be agreed on. And I'm cleaning some stuff up. So this is nowhere near finished. And I'm just trying to get it framed right in a good way where I feel okay and not gonna like screw things up. This is a pretty big image. Joe's seen it. So it's a lot bigger
pretty
than
awesome.
this. So
Believe
I'm
me.
just showing you the details, guys, of what I got going here.
You let me know.
Oh, I shared it. Should be ready to go.
Okay. Let me go over there. All right.
Well, you guys have been great. As always, show up on Art Bros.
There we go. Check that out, peeps. Let me go. You want me to go full?
Go ahead, go full.
Let me go find the little clicker thing here.
So if you guys back Mavericks now, this is one of the stretch goals, and this is a tiny zoom up. This is not tiny. This is a zoom up of something much, much, much bigger.
Yeah, dude, he's putting in insane.
This is about 20% of the image.
Yes. Amanda B comes out of the.
Thank you.
Amanda B comes out of the woodwork to show this.
Thank you, Amanda B. I really can't wait for him to show it all off because I'm just doing the cleanup on it now. So.
Yeah, you've done some heavy work on this bad boy.
Well, awesome. Real quick, like I said, I was adding that second light layer so you can see that up in here.
Yes.
I still got to kind of smooth it out some, and then there's areas that I still haven't hit. So over here on this side, but these are tiny stuff.
Yeah, your big shapes. Oh, the big lighting stuff is all there.
Yeah.
A lot of the effects are all there. Everything's there. Composition.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So having Andy on the other day, and seeing all the effects he was using, I was like, all right, no, I'm back to good.
Yeah.
Like all my weirdness is out the door.
Check this out. Everybody's loving it.
Good. Guys, go back Mavericks. Go back if you haven't already. Go back it. Part of the stretch goals.
And if you're a mod, throw that in the chat if you're around.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Sorry, I should have done that.
Yeah, it's a killer piece. This is a stretch goal. One of many. And a crazy amount of...
And there's 2 Mavericks right now. One you can sign up for, and the other one you can actually back. They're 2 different ones. Mavericks by Nefarious is robots, giant robots, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Go do it. Go check it out. And then there's Anti-M's.
Anti-M's, dude.
You can sign up for NTM's comic right now, but I'm throwing in Mavericks right now. The robot Mavericks.
Right.
But yeah. There you guys go. Go check it out. hope that link works. Yeah.
I'm sure it will.
Go check it out. And yeah, like I said, this is a stretch goal. So you guys, I don't know how it runs, but should go well.
Yeah, go back it, guys. It's looks like everything they're doing on that campaign. Is,
Joe has one on. Joe has a piece on Mavericks as well. So
yeah, it's one of the what do they call them? The side
A4s.
Huh?
A4s.
No, I think he called them. It's a variant cover, but he called them like a special name.
Did I just say E4? I said A4.
Yeah, I don't know why you're using European sizing, bro. This is an American stream.
I'm sorry, that's what Neff called it.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go. Let's just call it 11 by 17.
Right, man. He's got a variant cover. That's right.
Right, it's a variant cover for. But he called them something else, like a side, side ammo case or something.
Clips.
A side clip or something. Yeah,
side clip. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So yes, variant cover. Thanks for clarifying.
But I gotta go take care of my dog and make sure
I'm
a doggy daddy. Guys, thank you all so much for showing up today. Keep Joe on the move. I'll check in later, rewatch, see if Joe's giving you any other stuff.
Yeah.
Billy, tag team, bro. Let's go. Your turn.
Man.
Get in.
I'm staying on till 2, guys. So be on for another couple hours. We'll be talking more about goals, but mostly about just probably how to get drawing heads right and stuff like that. So, hell yeah.
All right. Guys, have a good day. I'm out. Later,
peace, Jerm. Love you. Peace. Yes. Spare magazine. Yes. I knew it was something. I was like, a clip. We thought it was clip. Yeah, pretty much. Same thing. Spare magazine, side clip. We probably should just come up with a parody. Just call it side clip. Yes, everyone says goodbye, Germ. Sherry says my dog almost took out plants. That's great. I like the almost part of all of that because I don't have to clean. Yep. Peace out, Germ. So I'm working on the new model sheets. These are the old model sheets for Star Circuit stuff. They are more realistic. They're kind of like when I actually drew the book, my designs skewed a little bit. So I'm drawing Menno here, and Menno is going to be, I don't know. Menno is like almost, I'd say the most similar to what I'm drawing here. So this is the goal, to make it look like closer to this. So we're getting there. All the talking has kind of got me sidetracked, but we're going to get this right. Amanda B says, it goes with the theme. Yes. Hopefully you mean by goals, maybe. But yeah, heck yeah. So spare magazine. Yeah, no, it goes with the theme of their Mavericks. I think that's what you mean. So yeah, Mavericks is all about mechs. Spare magazine. It's very war oriented. Spare magazine is something I'm sure they all carry, and so it's kind of like this implication that you should have some. You can't go in there just with one clip. You can't just get one cover. You got to get multiple. So it's a good marketing kind of pun, you know. So all right, so we're gonna be drawing Menno here. He's got a wide neck, so that's what I'm trying to adjust for here. Let's look at Atlas here again one more time. Atlas and hip I can show. So let's see. There's Atlas. There's Atlas. And it looks like I drew him a little bit bigger on the page, but whatever. It'll work. Probably should upgrade it, but Atlas looks good. What we're doing here is giving away the actual model sheet to people that back Star Circuit. So if you want one of these, you want to be official, check this out. So I have it marked. It's the official model sheet with the signature. Thank you for backing. Thank you for getting a sketch card. That's the new signature, by the way. My new signature is a little bit painterly. I got inspired by several people to do that signature. And speaking of signatures, I got a cool video coming about that. But anyway, here we go. So these are the model sheet for Atlas. And I've got hip over here as well. So let's get hip. So hip is also done. I've shown this one off as well. So Hip looks cool. She kind of reminds me of what's her name from Stranger Things. Can't remember the actress's name, but you know, the reporter lady. Anyway, so I got my ref. Let's keep going. So the important thing on these, for these super straight on shots, getting the center line right is like half the struggle. So the minute you vary from I noticed my nose was going off the center line. I noticed tons of things were skewing up the center line. So I'm putting it back on the center line. And I'm looking at how wide he actually is. So let's bring this line in like that. There we go. Okay. The nose. May turn up the music a little bit. Hopefully that won't be too bad. Let's turn it up just a little bit. Alright. Cool. Hopefully that's not too loud. I think... Alright, so... Fraga talks about this a lot too. He loves this like pizza slice that you put on your characters here. Like you draw it up to the brow line. You draw a little pizza slice from the center line up to where you want the eyes are. And that's pretty much how you align your nose and how you align everything else. So I'm a little off. But yeah. That's how it all works. Looks like I got to erase because it gets a little muddy. Anyway. So we're sketching in what we want, and then we're going to move on. The best part about doing these model sheets, by doing the model sheets, I essentially don't have to, I don't know, it's like two birds, one stone. I'm doing two cards for doing like one thing. So it helps you because you get an actual model sheet, and it helps me because I get to do these cards a little bit quicker, just slightly. Okay. Let's go this way. Get the eyeballs lined up. So you can see it's lining up with my pizza slice. That's what we want. And this guy's got glasses too, so that kind of frames his face. Once you get the glasses in, it kind of frames him up. Later, Amanda. Peace out. Oh no, you're saying later. I looked up for a quick sec. I thought you were leaving. Well, you might have left. Who knows? But here we are. Keep going. Okay. Lips usually go to like under the pupil. And for him, he's kind of like a brooding type of dude. So we're just going to draw his mouth like that. And we're going to have to keep adjusting until we get exactly what we want. But that's how it goes. That's the name of the game here, guys. With model sheets, it's actually pretty difficult because you don't want to mess up, but at the same time, you want to do it somewhat quickly. You just want them to be useful down the road. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be pretty close. At least it can be rougher, but it has to be accurate. So he's got a big forehead. I think that's pretty clear. Let's put the eyebrows in here, at least like the rough eyebrows. Hand is not queued up, and my camera is kind of like right in my eyesight as far as my eye line to the page, so it is a little bit funky for me to draw like this. Gotta get a camera setup that is actually doable. Maybe the ear a little too far out. I think the eye could go up a little bit. Let's see. Because it's lining up with the pizza slice well, but it could be up a little bit. I vote that we call Joe's fans the Catapano crew. Yeah, we're thinking about it. We were talking about it. Jeremy was calling me like also a coach like Malin, and I was like, dude, we can call it the junior varsity. But it's funny because I do kind of get on people like Malin does. He's way more like accredited because he's actually like has a lot of proof to what he's saying because he's been in the industry for a long time. But how's my levels too, Jedi? If you're still around, let me know if I'm put the music too loud or something like that. Because not a lot of people are in the chat anymore. Just want to make sure that when people pop in, it's not horrible for listeners. Okay. Getting close to this guy's proportions. This guy I give like a rounded kind of hairline because from here I kind of draw. I just need to get the line right. And once I get the line right, it becomes like the guide, essentially, for everything else. So, like there, across the side. Yeah, just like that. Maybe he's a little too high at the top of his head now. Bring in that. Getting there. Wider chin. Just me and you, like the old days, dude. If only Jeremy hadn't left. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man, it's been a while. I was thinking about doing the kick-ass draw stream again because I've been coming across a lot of cool tricks and tips and whatever that I normally would cover on like a stream like that. And it'd be cool just to study. Everybody like come on and study some art stuff with me. So it would be cool. Alright. This time I gotta look at my other book and see. Gotta see if I'm lining up to. Am I lining up to what I normally draw these characters like? So, gotta put this down like this. He's got like a wider jaw, so maybe we accentuate that better. Hell yeah, Billy still is here. I'm still here. I got back from the grocery store. I'm walking around doing stuff while listening. Cool, dude. Glad you're a part of it. Yes, I want to do the kick-ass study stream, dude. Bring it back. I think we'd have an audience for it. Yeah, dude. You're finished. The colored version, I think that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, it came out great, dude. You're progressing like a champion. So it is it's crazy how things work. Where you're like, we kind of see how things progress when if you looked at it like a year ago or 2 years ago, it'd be something you maybe wouldn't even think you were capable of, and now you're popping stuff out like that where people are enjoying your work so much they give it their all and put their inks and their colors on it, and you look in the end you got something that's like very professional looking, man. I think people would really enjoy having some of that art in a book, so keep at it. That's all you can do. Okay, so Menno's coming together. The way art works, guys, at least for me, the flow state is huge. So the flow state is like, how do you describe the flow state? It's when you're at your edge of your competence, like you're still learning something, but at the same time you've got a really good grasp of what you're doing. Your brain can turn off, and you enter the flow state. And because of that, you're able to do some really cool stuff, and at the same time do your best work. And so that's the goal here, and it's hard to do on stream. I think that's one of the reasons why it's hard to stream at the same time, because you don't really have as much an opportunity to enter the flow state. So anyway, that being said, I think it's working out pretty well. I was getting at this, like I wanted to do one sketch card every half an hour, and so I've lost time, but I think I'll gain it back, because the way it works with me is as your hand gets quicker or more, what would you say? As your hand gets, your muscle memory gets better during the day, you're going to produce better and quicker work as you go. And so the thing is, that's the best part about working for, I don't know, for extended periods of the day. Like toward the end of the day, you're going to knock out stuff so much quicker than the stuff in the morning, especially if you don't do a warm-up. I used to do warm-ups every day, so the minute I started working on the stuff I cared about, like Star Circuit, I would be already ready to go. My hand would be making the right marks, Also, another reason why it's hard to do this while you're streaming is because you're trying to essentially talk, which takes up brain power, and then also draw cool stuff, which should also take brain power. Okay, let's see if they look like brothers. Let's see. Where's my other atlas? I don't know what happened to you, buddy. They look like brothers? Pretty much, I think so. Just from my style, they look like brothers. Okay. Alright, so Menno wears this, he's so uptight, dude. I love this character because he's like the uptight version of me. All of my characters pretty much little versions of me, but so he's that friend of yours that wears polos all the time. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of uptight about things, wears professional attire. He wears a freaking tie a lot because he's always at the office, so he's like, whenever he's like coming to talk to somebody that you know or hanging out with you, like he just came from the office, or pretty much a job he doesn't need to have, because in the future you don't need a job. And so Atlas makes fun of him a lot, and he calls it a hob job, like a hobby. It's like, you don't need to have the job. He just does it because he's like he's goal-oriented, kind of like what we're talking about today, but in like a bad way, almost like to a fault. He's trying to brute force his way into like making things better, which doesn't necessarily always happen. So yeah. Anyway, he wears like this weird shirt. It's like remember they used to call them Dickies, dude. Not the Dickies pants, but I remember my parents telling me they were called Dickies. Like they'd be like a shirt with Like the undershirt wasn't a real undershirt. It's kind of like a version of a clip-on tie, or the clip-on tie is just a superficial tie. So this is a shirt that is just a like an undershirt that doesn't go all the way down. It's not a real shirt. It's just a covering. It just like makes you look like you got it. Our Jedi says, have you guys seen Ryan Stegman's and Donny Cates' Substack? I think it's the best one. The only one I'm going to subscribe for because Stegman is doing live drawings and tutorials. Can't say I like Donny Cates because he's obviously he's a little weird. I don't know if I dig and subscribe to a lot of his stuff, but Stegman's on another level, so I can't deny that it's a cool thing to do. I would, for Stegman's work, it might be worth it. So good luck. Let us know how it is over there in the Substacks. All right, I like you, Menno. I like how you're coming out. Maybe a little too disheveled. He might need to be a little more crisp. But he's naturally got broader shoulders. He's more like, he's like that guy. It's such a weird dichotomy with this character. Like he's naturally built like, I'm modeling him after kind of like Clark Kent, and he's like kind of built like a farm boy like that. Like he works out and stuff. But his mentality doesn't match his confidence of like what his body would normally align with. Like he's a dude that should be super confident, but he's not. He's like, he hasn't attached that. He hasn't realized it, or hasn't, anyway. So he's more built, he's always wearing this like uniform that he wears to work. It's pretty much like this Dickie shirt that we were talking about before. And it's essentially like a little cardigan-y looking shirt. Oops, dropping cards. Okay. Yes, hits the gym, but has low self-esteem. Indeed, Sherry. Indeed. And Art Jedi says it's really cool with Stegman's. He's already penciled 5 inked pages for their new book, Vanish. Cool, dude. I can't deny that. That's really cool. So, yeah, Sherry's on the ball with the this. It's definitely exactly right. He's hits the gym, has low self-esteem. Maybe it's my critique on the gym, but it's also, I think there's people like this. I've met guys like this, where they're like, they do healthy things, but their mentality is like, doesn't match up for some reason. I met a lot of guys like this. I had one friend that, I don't know. Actually, he sad to say he passed away. He's one of my old high school buddies, but he passed away, and he was like maybe who I based this character on. I mean, it's like a tribute to him. He's like the most loyal friend you can find, but he's not doing himself any favors, But in the end, like, he's just like a really good person and has the best of intentions. It's just not great for him. And through like what's happened to him, he kind of like through like the same tragedies that Atlas has gone through, he kind of has lost confidence, even though he's like a premier kind of model for like behaviors. He's that kind of guy. And he doesn't even need these glasses. He puts them on to kind of cover up, almost. Obviously in the future you don't need, everybody has perfect vision, but he wears them for, he has the excuse, he wears them for the excuse that they give him like extra stats, but everybody also has a chip in their brain that helps them out. He just has this extra, it's like a cover up. It's like, here's the side truth. So the side truth is that I like, you know, not great with social occasions. So like a lot of times I'd bring a sketchbook with me just to like cover up, like give me excuse if I'm like weird about talking to people. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just draw my sketchbook because it's easier. You know what I mean? It's easier to like converse and like gives me a cover up. So Menno uses these glasses as that personality cover up. Like he's using it as a layer to protect him. Jedi brings up Vanish is going to be nuts, even if you don't like Dunny. You can't deny how crazy his stories can get. It's a good point. True that. And Ryan, of course, he draws crazy stuff. Neff is here. What's up, Neff? Did he give us the secret yet? Oh yeah, the secret of the show. Yes. He's saying hello to everybody. But yes, we've done the secret of the show, Neff. Who won Sandwich Saturday? I was having my birthday. I don't even know. Yeah, long story short, Neff, goals are limited. We'll say that. I think long story short is you automatically make goals. So don't focus on them. They're naturally going to happen. Focus on your actions, not the results. So, oh, thanks, dude. Thanks for the happy birthday wish. Yeah, we had me and Jeremy should have took a video because we were out having some food yesterday, and we should have shown the Art Bros together in real life in the RL, you know. All right. So let me get this. Here's my cheat sheet, guys, for glasses. Alright, his glasses are kind of Harry Potterish. They're circular, but they don't have wires or anything. So like it almost looks like it's like a mix between Morpheus and Harry Potter. We'll say it's like just wider than his eye. These eyes are a little big because of the sketchiness. Probably could thin them out just a little bit. Okay. So from here, we're just going to do the eyes, and then we're going to transfer all this over. This will probably go pretty quickly because it's not too hard to do this part of it. All right. Let's go find the right line. I think that works. Pretty centered. Let's go one bigger, and then that way it has some width to it. Man, that's a lot, man. I don't even know if I wanted that big, man. Let's go one bigger then. Fine. Nope. It shifted on me. Probably wanted it to go in, not out. But it works. Oh, dude. Missed all this stuff. Congratulations on turn 57. That's how old I am. Yeah, it feels like it, dude. Getting older. Billy's saying, I was thinking Texas, but Georgia, Florida, looking just as attractive, arguably a bit more, given the peeps. Yes, dude. Argetta also says, people who wear glasses for style are annoying. Yes. He's wearing glasses for a crutch. It's a crutch. Crutch glasses. You know. But yeah, he turned 42 again, like all the other 40-year-old white. Yes. I'm glad I'm not 42. You just fall in line. Our Jedi also says, yeah, wear sunglasses are fine. They don't make you look like a complete nerd. People who wear sunglasses or wear glasses while needing them are usually doing it to make them look extra nerdy or quirky. Yes. Sherry's also right and wrong here. They are batshit crazy, but I feel like there's a lot good about Florida. I really don't say that much, but there is some great stuff about Florida. Jedi says, Ohio is the Midwest Florida. Nobody can change my mind. Yes, Ohio, I feel like, is a good spot. It's a very, very good spot. Sherry wants to fight, and Billy says, yeah, I've been in Cali my whole life, except for military time. Oh, because you're probably on a boat or something. I think it's reached a point where making big moves makes sense. Yeah, so I hear, yeah, you've been in that one spot for a while. Last time I talked to you, Billy, you're, not that you got stuck there, but, you know, that's what happens. Like, you end up being there for, you know, a variety of reasons, then you just don't ever leave. That happens to a lot of folks. Sometimes the reasons are really important, though. So, okay. So this is like a roughish version of them. I'll probably clean them up later, but let's go do the side view real quick. This should be pretty quick, actually, because the side view, once you have the front view, the side view usually comes easier because you have measurements. You're not doing like a 3/4 at this point, so you're, which I probably should just do a 3/4 as well while I'm at it. Okay, let's do it. All right. Sherry says, I'm getting my dog in my office. Yeah, this is what I was trying to lead to before. Like, Florida's crazy. But Cali's on another level, I think. I think they've leveled up the game. Yeah, Sherry's gonna go lift so she can beat me up. Crazy. Crazy Cloud. Cloud's in the office now, guys. Alright. Let's get it moving. Alright, so quick tip here, guys. Let's do it on this side. When you do a side view, I've been learning that if you do a side view, your cranium is like this ovally, squashed ovally thing. Just draw a perfectly perpendicular line down. I meant to put that at the edge. So let's do that again. That way we can get exactly the form that I'm going for. Yeah, put that at the edge. And also draw a line that curves. Because naturally your face is going to curve like that a little bit. It's going to be organic. So from here, you draw the brow out a little bit. Your nose is going to line up with the base of your cranium. Draw that thing out pretty good. Just make it a triangle for now. Drop the upper lip, drop a little lower for the lower lip, and make sure you have this kind of line of action with your chin and everything going up that way. That's why we first start out with that curve. So from there, you're pretty much golden. Like, that's where you like just modify until you get the shape right. But that's just how things work. Right there. Archetta says they better release Spider-Man trailer to the public tomorrow. I'm writing. I'll have to show you some of my studies. Yes, please do, dude. Throw them my way. Let me see. Alright, Menno. We're going to do the side view. I've already did what I did there. I think it just needs... nose needs to come out more. Which will kind of modify everything else. It just needs more curve. Alright. before I do that, I want to draw some lines. But real quick, guys, here's a little intermission for you. I'm going to go take a quick coffee break for 1 second. In the meantime, check out Star Circuit real quick here. It's my sweet comic. You guys know it, love it. Just I'll be back in 1 moment. Check out the trailer.
Welcome to the future. A place where you can find anything you desire. If the burner gangs don't find you first. Where the fastest racers are artificial. And if you're human, you don't stand a chance. Star Circuit.
All right, I'm back. Our Jedi says, for some reason you haven't backed Star Circuit yet. Do it right now. Yes, dude. Star Circuit is coming together so nicely, except the printer, the thing's out of your control. Dude, they're dragging their feet, man. I don't even know. Like, at first they were getting back to me very quickly, with how speedily they worked on the progress with just the stuff at the printer. But recently, man, it's just been nuts. It's like it's been too I don't know. They just don't get back to me as quick as they used to. So I'm kind of annoyed because my backers are waiting for it, you know? Everybody's waiting for it. So it makes me, like, not nervous, but in the back of my mind, my fears are that, you know, oh, it'll never come out, you know what I mean? And so I don't want that to be on my mind anymore. I'm like, I just want it in my hands, but try to keep the patience, you know. So for noses, guys, check this out. So your nose is a triangle, right? But it's more like that. And you don't draw this line. This line you don't draw. That's where your nostril placement is. Like that. So your nose is this shape that is kind of like a triangle, basically a triangle, but then you add this like nice little boat. Looks like a sailboat now. But yeah, that's your nose. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do here. Oh yeah, I was going to draw lines. Forgot about that. This is the tricky part about doing sketch cards. They move a little bit, and when you want to line up lines and make things work for you, it's way harder. Emma, don't ruin the sketch card. All right. Get this mouth in here. Chin's down here now. Maybe it's a little off. Let me try that line again. Really? That was right? I don't believe it. Just looks off to me. Oh, is that because the card's tilted? That might be the reason. Yeah, makes more sense. Okay, so again, this line, chin comes down here. Cool. All right. Lips get tricky on the side view because, like, there's a lot of cues that you get from certain things. But let's see, where's my even point? I need a lip line. Well, I have the lip line, but I need the other lip. It's pretty close, but need some work. Sherry says hydrate. Getting this chin right is interesting. I don't want it to come out too much. All right. My first line sucked. Get the eye lines up in here. Sherry reminds me to hydrate. I will hydrate. Alright. Let's get this, the bottom of the nose is a little, I think my nose is a little off. So, let's follow the rules, guys, and use the guides. I think I was going off my old guides and not the new guides. Yeah, the nose, that's where the point needs to be on this line. And below, that's where the bottom needs to be. So, more like that. Now we just got to shape it. Man, this camera is not the easiest to draw with because you're like, I feel like every time every time I see where I need to go, the camera distracts me. Okay. Oh, thanks, Wolverine. Yeah, that's the name of my game. Like, this is how I operate, pretty much. I operate in this world of technicalities. It's my favorite part about drawing. You know, I like getting things right. I don't like, it's a downfall in some ways too, because I don't like winging it too much, and I probably should wing it sometimes when I need to, but I'm resistant to it. So there's a downside to it, obviously. Get the brow lines here. It means that it needs to drop a little bit. Okay, that's fine for now. Jaw should be a little lower. Nice. We are birds of a feather, Wolverine. Feral animals of a class of some kind. I was trying to make a good pun. Couldn't get it. But yeah, this is where it's at. Like, I like kind of figuring things out. And you'll immediately see, man, I don't get things right away. Sometimes, like main characters like this guy, I really want to get right because, like I said, you might not know, Wolverine, but I'm doing this as actual updated model sheets. So I want these to be extra right. So I think it should be the opposite. Put the curve in the wrong spot. I feel like it should be flat at the top, flatter, and then rounded at the bottom. More like that. Maybe just a little bigger. We'll see. Let me look at this line again. Yeah, should go down a little bit. Yeah, you can pay attention, maybe too much. But yeah, that's a little bit of the trick. There's a trick there somewhere. I think that's just everybody's, your own temperament can solve a lot of this. A little bit. But art is all about feeling it out. Like, it's a lot of, like, all the art instructors out there, a lot of them kind of don't put an emphasis on this, but a lot of getting this right is feeling it out. And that develops with your eye. And if your artistic eye and your visual library is not developed, you're not going to see the errors. And half of what art is and drawing is noticing an error you made and fixing it. But if you don't know the error is there in the first place, then you're not going to fix it. So step one is finding and knowing the errors. Step two is getting your hand and your ability to change it, and your ability to like actually perform and execute is the second thing. First thing is like knowing. Second thing is doing. Without both of those, you're not going to succeed. Okay. So, angle of his lip is a little not right. I wanted it flatter, more neutral. Lip needs to come down more. Probably not as rounded. Okay, we're getting there, guys. All right, so might have the jaw too far back. I'm trying to figure this out. Feels pretty close. I usually do it by the mid. So maybe just a little bit too far back. Not by much. This is all kind of like personal taste a little bit, but so the brow, the top for the brow and the bottom of the nose, that's where it goes, but the tip of the eye should hit the bottom corner of the ear. That's another little trick. Okay. I'm intending to draw my ears a little bit more circular than I used to. And that just is a style preference. Alright, let's see where this tie and collarbone and everything should be right around here. Tie is a little higher. Oh, hear my stomach growl, dude. Getting hungry, dude. Dudes. Alright, let's check out what people are saying here. Alright, our Jedi. Let's catch up. Joe, how important is it to know how to draw the average human's rib cage versus how Finch or Lee does it like a bullet? I'll answer that in a minute. We just catch up on the comments and see if anything's answered. Because I find that it's hard to build the rest of the torso off of an egg. There is a little bit of both here. I'll get into that in a second. Scotsman TV says, rules develop technique. Then, once mastered, you break them and merge your style. Yes, it happens naturally. I think Scotsman's on the right track there. Wolverine has a little bit. Says, don't know about Joe, but I always start with the head because most martial arts will tell you the head goes, the body will follow. Yes. However, that it's kind of, I feel like starting with the head maybe is doing it hard mode style, potentially. We'll get into that in a second. Once I know wherever the head lies or leads, the size of the head and rib cage, I pretty much know everything else. That can be a thing. Again, I'll get to that in just a second. But that wasn't the question. Wasn't entire approach. That was entirely on the approach to drawing the rib cage. Sorry, it's okay. No, so the rib cage, real quickly. I'm gonna do it a little here. So a lot of guys will draw it one way, where I think it's a combination, like the rib cage and everything else. I do a combo of oval and square box. So this is how I do it. All right, so here's two boxes. I don't know, you can't really see that as well. Let me go to a new spot. Where can I go? Let me just erase. And I can just explain it, but pretty much it's a combo of what you're talking about. And I kind of agree with the head thing. I'll give my opinion on that in a second. Everybody's got their own preferences. Okay, so two boxes. If you draw the ribcage like a circle, you get half of your solution. And the square gives you the other half of your solution. Because obviously an egg gives you a little bit of a point, a little bit of a point down here. And that little bit of a point on top gives you kind of your neck connection. And the way Finch does their stuff, the Finch in them do this oval, your neck, your side. It's like what they call the barrel, which is taken from, I think, Hogarth. Right, so neck, this is your arm slot. So it looks like a vest. This is kind of an upshot. That way you can see the bottom. So generally that's how they do it, and that's pretty much right. But to get proportions and perspective easily, you want this squared up. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm drawing the squared shape, if you know what I mean. So it's important to do both. You do the oval, and that gives you kind of this roundness of the body. But knowing the perspective and knowing that it's a box really will give you, like grounding, we'll say. We'll say it gives you grounding. So that's how I do it. And this box also, see how this box has this natural line up here? That's really like your traps and then your shoulder. Like without that box, you wouldn't really have that guide. So that's how I kind of work it. Everything goes from there. But yeah, Finch is great because he's like really organic about things. But I prefer a little more structure out of it. That's another reason. So Will Weston brings this up. So the way torsos work is you divide it in half, and you get your pelvis too. So you can start at, man, I almost need a whole new shape. Let's just do this. Divide this thing in 3. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. If I cover it up, you can see it maybe a little better. I don't know. But this is how you do your proportions. I do it like boxes. This is what I'll do real quick, guys, because this is the easiest way, because I wrote a tutorial on this, and it's on howtodrawcomics.net. So let me pull it up real quick, and we'll solve this question. And then I'll get back to drawing immediately. Let's look up. Okay. How to draw comics, and I'll bring up the page. One second. Okay. There we go. Okay, so on this, there's a lot of my tutorials. And 2 of my tutorials are on torsos, my most recent ones. So here's the front to torso, there's the back one. And so let's just pull up the front. Okay. Alright, so this is on howtodrawcomics.net. And I talked about those twisting boxes too. But let's just talk about the proportion here first. This is what I'm talking about. So you can see in my side window. Let's go look at what I drew here. Over here, we drew a box, doing it in blue. You divide it in thirds, but really I was just focusing on the torso, which is just the halves. So you see I have a half mark where the rib cage kind of generally ends. And it's probably just about at the end of the rib cage. But pretty much the division happens because the bottom of the pelvic box, and the top of the collarbone and your neck, that's the division. And if you go up one more box above that, that's your head. So you're gonna watch me draw over there. That'll be your head up here, and then your body down here. But that's how I proportionally do it. And you can see you can break it up by heads too, because there's a neck that is in between that will help you to divide it up, do your best work. And here's what Jedi said he's been doing. This is what you should practice, trying to get the torso right. It's helpful. And then I break down a lot of the individual shapes for musculature. And then the basics of what makes a human body for both. But yeah, here's answering what you were talking about before, starting with the head. This is how I start, which is kind of starting with the head, but not really. I start with the masses and the line of action, which is pretty much the head, because the head would be naturally on the end of this line. So I start with this line, which is pretty much the spine, and then you can grab your torso from there. Naturally, this tutorial is not about heads, so I didn't draw it, but I draw it just right after this stage here, after you talk about and draw this part. You divide the head differently than, by heads. Yep. Divide the body, yes. Divide the body by heads. So you can do it both ways, and this is the most traditional way, which is the heads. A lot of people do it by heads, but you can do it by body, by rib cage. This is a Will Weston. If you go look at Will Weston, he works at Center College, I think, but he divides it up this way. And I thought it's really nice because when you draw look at my little drawing over here. If you draw your pelvis or your rib cage as a box, right there, and your pelvis has a box, together with the connection and everything else, it should be equaling 1/2 and 1/2. Like it should. That's the proportions. That's how you find the right proportions. And to me, that's super useful. Like knowing this. So this is why it's super useful. Is my mouse cursor showing? Can my mouse cursor show? I hope it does. But so half of it goes to the points of the rib cage. You can see where we divide it in half, and then divide the bottom box in half, and you get the pelvis box and this empty space where your abs go. And that's how I do it. I think it's a really good way to go. Yeah, hell yeah. Wolverine says, I go with the head's measurements because especially be starting with the head of 1. Yes. Generally, I think heads are a good way to go, except there's a downfall there. I just can't think of the downfall just yet. Maybe I'll come up with it later. But it's generally, there's a reason why people use it a lot. It's because it works. Our Jedi says, I'm going to go study some Stegman videos. Be back. Yeah, dude, come check in. I'll be here till 2. Got another hour. Yeah, I'm going to finish up these sketch cards and move on. But yeah, maybe I'll just leave that tutorial thing up. I'll do this instead. There we go. Or isn't there a version that I want to do? Can I make this the... let's solo layout this and then do that. No, it doesn't work like that. Huh. Okay. We'll just do that. No. What the hell? I can't leave it up. It sucks. Okay, we'll just do this. Yeah, it's hard to explain things. I feel like I talked about this in the mentor video, but it's important to try to mentor people and tell people your process because it forces you to get your own process down. If you have your process down, then you'll remember it better, you know? And so, bam, you get yourself a more solidified consistency, which the more consistent you are, the more you feel like you're into it and know what you're doing, and thus you end up with better results for the most part. That's at least how I believe it works. Alright, so a tie goes out this way. These little necktie strap things. There we go. This is his Adam's apple, comes down. This goes out. Alright, so he looks a little bit, what would we say? The head looks, from the side view, looks a little bit more anime-y than I'd like. What I'm going to do is this, guys. Hold on. I'm going to scoot this over. It's going to be a pain in the ass, actually. I wonder how I could do it. Maybe cover up this. Go this way a little bit. That way you guys get a better view. There we go. Better view. I don't think you stepped on anybody's question there, Wolverine. I think you're just doing your best with not hearing tone of voice and stuff. That's how it works. A lot of times. There we go. Need another mag. Alright, so from the side view, the eyebrow kind of is much more forward because there's a skull there. There we go. Something like that. Hairline, let's go over with it right around here. He's got this like rounded kind of hairline, which is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I think the issues that I have with him right now are top of the head maybe. Looks like it's going up. No, that's right. What's a little bit off? So let's just say this is a good example. So if you have a situation where your head is not translating, it's in the details. Devil's in the details, because just contours will make your brain think like it's connecting or not. Like, obviously, you have to. The details here is the nose is a little bit lower, and that slightly lower nose, you can tell. Your brain just knows. Knows. And it may not need to be that sharp either. So I think I got the eyes right though. And I think this jaw is pretty good, but maybe I'm going to widen out the bottom part. Maybe just round him out because he feels round over there on the other side. This way. Take the lower nose helps. All right, let's get the glasses in here. Glasses from the side view are a little bit weird. Know what I think? I think the eyes are a little low. What do you guys think about that? Just looking at the grid we're putting on top of this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think the eyes are a little low. It was too high before, and now it's a little too low. Might be the eyebrow not helping that either. Alright, so there's his glasses, but it probably would be... I think that's what made me go back here. I think my brow is a little too far out or something. Okay. Sketching in the eyeball and the profile might make it look less anime. Yes, it may. I don't know. I think there's like some of the sharp edges, and a lot of my bases of my proportions are, it's like a mix. Like I like certain things from how the Eastern way of drawing them. So trying to figure out exactly what works for this character as far as getting it right. Okay. This lip is a little big on this side. So all these little details, that's what translates in the end. And it slowly starts looking more and more like the character. So if you don't get it right, keep working at it. And again, guys, if you back Star Circuit, you can own one of these model sheets. These model sheets could be yours. Of course, just one of them. So if you back multiple sketch cards, I guess you have a better chance of getting the real deal. So let's look at this hairline here. What I like to do with him is give this Or maybe lower, I don't know, actually. But I do like to have this little cowlick thing in the back, maybe. Maybe too... we don't, the cowlick can easily make your character look too young. So, you gotta be careful about that. Alright. Here. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, probably should go lower. Good call, Wolverine. This is why I gotta have viewers watching my back. Thank you. But I agree. Maybe he's a little too far out. Well, can't tell. Could be the lip. Like I said, I was talking about this character before. He's like, he's nerdy, but also like, he's pretty much like the go-getter, you know, type A type person, like, very on top of the ball, but his confidence doesn't match up. Like, he's like a low self-esteem gym person, like my girlfriend was saying. Just not a good mix because of just things in his past. You know what I mean? So, trying to see what matches up, what doesn't match up. What doesn't seem like it would work if I did a head turnaround. Maybe I need to do a 3/4 to really see. Sometimes that ties it together and makes me see the mistakes. So maybe we'll do that. But yeah, this is pretty cool because I don't usually do updated model sheets. Once I make one, I usually just stay with it. But this is pretty cool because you get to, it's almost like doing a second draft. Like, you know what the character should be, you know what it was before, you know what didn't work. And so now it's time to make the adjustments and move on. Deeper jaw. I think that helps. Alright. I can't help but work slow on these because even though I want to do way more than these, but I cannot leave the model sheets like not right. It'll kind of skew everything else as we move on. So it really should be a little higher, I think. It's got good posture. Yeah, the left eye over there is a little big. Okay, keep at it. I think his traps might be bigger, or at least his back. At this point, I think it's the pointiness of the nose. Yeah, that's a little better, I think. Okay. Okay, I'm noticing where the neckline is off on one side. I think I like the thicker neckline on this guy. It kind of shows his builtness. Yeah. Okay, I think we got what we want. Let's move to the 3/4, get another sketch card in here. This side, that side. I'll line up the cards. Cool. Credit to you doing the model sheets. I don't do them because I really suck at them. So instead I hammer myself until I'm just familiar with it until it works out. Yeah, that's one route for sure. The model sheets I think help in your darkest hours. Like for the most part, you'll be able to do it without model sheets, but on those days where you're like, nothing's working out, they come in handy. So I maybe suggest go try to knock them out. This is one reason why I'm doing them as sketch cards. It's because it's killing two birds with one stone. I have to do the sketch cards, and it would be nice to have the model sheets. Might as well do them at the same time. And like I said, people can own their, can own them. So here's like one for hip. Looks pretty cool, the finished product. You got this front view, side view on the back. I've literally wrote, it's the official model sheet, my signature, thank you for doing, thank you for backing. This could be yours. It's the sketch card tier or the Apex backer tier. And yeah. So, let's keep on moving. Thanks for hanging out, Wolverine. It's been cool. Oops, hit the camera. Realize my jaw on this one is a little low. So this is how Star Circuit happens, guys. Slowly but surely. That's what makes it happen. Okay, let's draw this head. This might solve my side view problems. I'm hoping, at least. Wolverine says, I often wish I could do them. They're valuable. unfortunately, there's something just mathematical about them that mine never match up, no matter how many decades I spent trying. Yeah, they're hard. I think the things I point out today in these, I feel like there's always a subtlety to them. But my advice would be focus on the details that you don't think will matter. There's some of them that I'm like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter if that jawline's a little bit off. Doesn't really, it won't matter. But in the end, it does. in the end, you don't think about it. But yeah, a lot of these things add up to, be exactly what you need to change. A lot of these things that I've done so far are working. It's just a lot of things that your brain, you got to think about what the brain is telling you. Like, what is throwing it off? Like, what makes those two things not work out? Like, what makes them seem like they're two different people? And on this one, it seems like this guy's face is a little bit more, like wide than this one looks like. This one looks like it could be a little more angular. And so I could help that by adding more angular things here. And it might help it translate more. That sort of thing, can help. Anyway, let's keep going. This time it's a 3/4, so we have to do 3/4 type things, like draw a circle about where we want it, and draw a little bit of a halfy kind of shaved side like Loomis would do, and then 3/4 we draw a center line. Center line is everything with a face. Let me check my phone real quick. Totally forgot I might have somebody coming over. All right. Yeah, my bro's coming over. I had a birthday yesterday, so he's going to come over and hang out for a minute. Let's see. I think it's the dyscalculia in the same way as dyslexia for numbers. Also affects not being able to read analog clock or interesting. I never thought about that. I gotta look that up. Dyscalculia. Dyslexia for numbers. It's the same way dyslexia works for numbers, because I think that's what you're saying. Okay. Okay. So we know the curve that we usually do. Like if you have a super mathematical point of view with your side view, like we did here, we kind of know how it should work over here as well. So let's go over here. There. This thing would angle down a little bit. There we go. Okay. This is our center line point. I don't advise you do too mathematical, because I know what it means. I know what you mean. Like I've been there. Like with the mathematical, I've really wanted to get something super close, and the more you pay attention to it, the worse it gets, kind of. So. Nose should come straight out. And then if we have this come straight down, it won't necessarily work. Okay. That's our cheekbone. As in calculus, dyscalculia. Dyscalculia. Okay, huh. Yeah, among other weird things, it does. I do all math by adding 1 plus 1. I subtract by adding 1 plus 1 with relatively few memorized things. Huh. That's interesting, dude. I really need to look into that. That's like something I've never heard of before. Okay. Alright, so we have that. The nose does come down here in this front plane. Nostril. Center line. This is tricky because I can't really measure it. I can kind of. Should be something like that to here. Thing is, once it gets to that line, I have to extrapolate it. To get to here, it goes down a little bit. Same thing with that one. So maybe that's a little too high too. So 10, 6. 10 minus 6 for me is 10 minus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like in certain like elementary classes they would teach that point of view. I think anyway. Okay, I'm thinking I should move these things over, but I want to get a little bit more of a handle on where I'm at here first. Good. Here clearly should be right here. So this is what I was talking about before. Like me doing the 3/4 will reveal the issues with the side view matching with the front view. Like it's just natural. So I think we have the right length. Just have to follow the guideline I gave myself. Something like that. Maybe that's a little too low. More like that. Thanks, man. Yeah, the build lines can be like art in themselves. It's pretty cool. I tend to say that if your build lines are kind of good to look at on their own, like the rest will work out. Like, so what I'm doing here is like pretty much giving that like Batman mask that I kind of focus on that a lot because that will determine a lot of how your character structure. A lot of it is just the brow and how it relates to your cheekbone and everything else. So like this contour here that I gave him like a little bit of a puffy cheek, that's huge. That's like what makes the character, you know, what he's supposed to be. Alright, so let's go back a little bit. This head. Over here, let's pull this back, I believe. Yeah, I think especially for artists. Yeah, especially for artists, it's unique because it's like it's like somebody that knows music theory. You know, you're gonna enjoy jazz way more because you're just like gonna notice some stuff. And I don't even know music theory, but I know people that know music theory, and that's just how it goes. Come on, come on, get out of there. There we go. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? It's 1:30. I think we're going to finish these 3. That would mean that I did, along with talking a whole lot, not drawing a whole lot, I did 3. That means an hour a piece, which is really slow. But not the point. The point here is we end up with what you like at the end. I think that's always the silver lining. Like, yeah, it sucks you didn't meet your personal deadline, but if you like what you did, especially if you really like what you did, it almost negates it. You know what I mean? Like, if you like what you did, it pretty much means you're doing something right. So, just go with the flow. Don't beat yourself up on that one. If you didn't like what you did, it means that it's a good point to, like, look and remember, like, what you did. Maybe analyze what you did. Go back and watch the video if you streamed it like I did. Here. Alright. Okay. It's pretty close. It's like enough to... We're close enough where we can continue. I'm not totally off. Alright, so notice where we are here. So the neck should probably come down and then out. Alright, if we know our ears over here, so the neck will be somewhere over here. Probably a little thicker because in the front view, we made it that way. I think that's one of the things that is not matching up. I think his neck should be not so curved in the back. And it might lend to his character too. Let's see. Knots. You're carving shapes I wouldn't use. That changes so much about the contours of everything. Yes. If you didn't like what you did, try to figure out what fucked up. Yeah. Absolutely. Try to fix it. Indeed. For me, it's a trade-off, dude. It's always a trade-off. But yeah, I think it's very important not to beat yourself up over it. Just go for it, and you know, if you didn't hit your deadline, aim to do it next time. That's it. Nobody's perfect. No one's even close to perfect, so don't worry about it. Yeah, it's weird. I think that's a Thomas Sowell thing, right? He always talks about trade-offs. Everything's a trade-off. You know, there's never an absolutely better way to do things. It's just like, which do you want to compromise? Do you want to compromise on this? Do you want to compromise on that? What's the thing that you are cool with giving up, or you know, letting you know, not be totally what you want it to be. Let's see what I'm going to do with this eye. Oh, that's because I didn't give it what it deserved yet. Like, there's a piece of the puzzle here. better. Alright. Too angular, but I was going for the little longer, wider mouth here. It works. Here. Hairline. Let's see. Wolf saying, I mean, if you're working on with a deadline, then deadline trumps. Yes, sadly. But if it's a soft deadline with yourself, it's like a self-imposed deadline for the day or for the stream that you're trying to do. Because I can always like speed up my day after I get off stream and compensate. But yeah, you've got to choose the battles. Yeah, choose the battles you can't fight. You can't fight to the death on everything. That's not perfect. You won't live for that long. Yeah, indeed. I came up with the topic of the day here about goals and how you should kind of what's the word? Like view them and like keep them in mind, because it's my birthday yesterday and I was like, it brought to mind why. One of the reasons why I do things, and I think one of the biggest ways to get your goals done is to put things in perspective. Like you said, you're not going to live forever, dude. So if you want to make comics and you want to get it done, they're not going to make themselves. So I actually have like a life calendar that I occasionally look at. I don't look at it every day or anything, but occasionally look at it. Reminds me that like, you're in the prime of your life, dude. You can totally knock out some awesome stuff right now. No reason not to. Just keep grinding as much as you can. Don't like beat yourself up. Don't go out of your way to like, you know, make yourself unhappy is what I mean. Just keep it in mind. Keep moving forward. That's it. Yeah, thanks, man. Day after birthdays, belated is always better than never. Is always good. I mean, I don't expect everyone to know. It'd be pretty obnoxious for someone to do that. Expect everyone to know my birthday at all times. I think it's kind of silly that we celebrate kind of birthdays so much. I mean, I guess it's really good that we are living still, but at the same time, it's like. I don't know. It doesn't help our egos, I don't think. But it's always, no one needs the excuse to go hang out with your friends and have a good time. You know, that's why we're here. Have a good time. Let's just do this real quick. Put in a little bit of these silhouettes. See if it helps. Okay. This is one of the interesting things. Like, it's usually, I never get it right. Like, today I'm streaming for a long time, but not a lot of people showed up. And a lot of days I'll actually have more of a audience or whatever, you know, like people show up are able to show up, you know, and on that day, you know, I end early and everybody's kind of like wanting more. It's a weird thing to get right, you know. This YouTube thing is not easy. But like I said today with the goals, like your goals shouldn't be like dependent on, oh, I need to get this many subs or this many people watching. Just go on the stream and do your best making like the stuff you want to make on video, you know, and you know, if you build it, they will come, kind of thing. I think his chin was too wide there. Okay, got the lineup. There's something I want to do over there on the head. Just don't know exactly what it needed to be. Okay. Okay. So we're closing on the hour. We're just going to try to knock these out completely and call it a day. I'm pretty happy with the turnaround. The front looks the most like the character out of all of them. But the side and the 3/4 match up really nicely. So we just have to like connect the dots here. Like, what can I add from, well, besides the glasses? You know, like stuff that is proportionally not right. But the glasses will automatic. That's like my trump card. I like holding things like that. Like, if you're not hitting the perspective and the, you know, form and the structure right, I like to save the other stuff for later. Like, because we know that's going to really help sell it. It's just like a, I don't know what to call it. It's like a passive thing. Eyebrows, nose looks pretty right. Mouth, I feel like the jaw like is a little bit too far back or something. Let's see what Wolvie thinks here. I think the front view seems to have a much wider brow ridge and cheek span than the profile. Yeah, it's odd because you literally can't tell cheek span from the profile. You can kind of, because you can kind of like judge how much it would curve. I think in this scenario, we can do two things. Maybe the easiest way is to, right. I think that's clear. I think it's clear that we've got a broader face in the front one. So it's either we slim down the front one, or we kind of give the impression with other things in the other views. So that would include a wider kind of cheekbone here on this 3/4. Let's see here. I think one of the things that is a little different from this one to this one is the top lip. I think that's a little closer. Okay, so let's do some measurements. We don't usually do this, but let's look. How close am I to perfect? Cheekbone to cheekbone. It's pretty symmetrical. That's why it looks okay. It's pretty close to symmetrical. Eyes are a little off, obviously. So we could bring in that, but the eyes would kind of need to be compensated too. It's tough. Let me look at my other original here. Okay. Two things can be done. One, we can do that. That helps. I think the neck looks pretty similar through all of them. Hair, pretty close. This kind of points to the eyebrow, so maybe a little bit more this way. Okay. Pretty symmetrical. Let's just slightly bring it in. Let's see, what am I missing? Push back the hairline beside the eye on the profile. Should do a lot for the profile. Maybe so. Let's give it a shot. I think you're right. I think that lines up better. This one, I think it's pretty close. Just the overall slope is a little bit funky. Let's see. Model sheets are tough, dude, for sure. Let me see. Closer. Oh, heck yeah. Sherry said she was able to do 145 for 4 reps. That's way more than she did last time, I think. I don't know about way more, but definitely more. Okay. Dude, thanks for joining with me, Wolby. It's like nice to have company, especially if you're on video. Sometimes you're on video and you have nobody, and you know. It's nice to have somebody bounce things off of. Can't expect everybody to join all your streams, but it's nice to have the company. I appreciate it. He still seems a little broad on the front, right? But the front, I think it's also because of the ears, maybe. Ears seem wide, or it's the space between eye and that, I think. Seems like it could be less. Yeah, obviously not so straight, but yeah, might work better. All right. Cool. Just visually, I think like the chin should just be a little bit dropped to help. So many subtle things that can help. I think that's closer. All right. I'm going to finish these things off cam because I got to prepare for somebody coming up and hanging with me. If you guys really enjoy what I'm doing here, subscribe, like the stream, come back and watch the replay. But yeah, thanks for showing up, Wolfie. I'm going to hop off because like I said, I got to prepare for this 2 o'clock meetup. But yeah, it's been real. I'm going to finish these up. These are going to be official sketch cards that you can get by backing Star Circuit. It is at 345 backers, so let's get 350. Spread the word. Let's get 350. Yeah, thanks, Wolverine. I'll catch you around in the circuit. You know, good luck drawing. You've been a help today, so awesome. And thanks, Billy. Thanks for also being around and doing the commentary. It's really nice. So peace out. Have a good day, guys. I'm going to close out. I haven't done this in a while, but let's close out with the mixtape teaser that I'm actually getting mastered by a friend of ours, since the guy that was going to master it before bailed on us. But yeah, so here's one of the songs by Vosto Synthwave. Go follow him on Twitter. And yeah, see you guys next week. We got Art Bros on Wednesday with most likely a new guest, but see you guys then. Thanks for showing up. Peace.